Well, hey folks, listen, yesterday I just finished up an A tier here in the MP50 division where I came in third by one stroke. My buddy Tim Keith hit a wonderful putt on 18 to take second place. Good for him, but I didn't play badly. I played actually pretty well for the first two rounds and just had some weird stuff happen here at my home course at Inverness. And that's what I'm going to talk about today, how the day after a tournament is probably one of the best days to practice because you got a lot of stuff going on. And that's why I'm back out here on this first hole at Inverness with a bag full of discs. And we're going to talk about it right after the intro. Okay, so I shot an average 982 rated for the event. So I was basically hovering around 985 for the first two, and then I was 970 something for the last one here. And I started out the very first hole. First off, I don't bring a lot of discs out here, and I did that on purpose because I wanted to keep it simple, but I left one of my discs at home or in my car, and I drove my motorcycle because of parking. And so I stepped up to the first hole, got ready to throw, and I reached down and my disc wasn't there. And so automatically chaos started kicking in. And so I had practiced this hole. I definitely practiced this hole, and I had determined I was gonna play a certain shot because it was safer, it was better, still gave me a chance, but that disc was gone. So I had to make an audible, and I decided to go step up to a fairway driver that I had practiced a little bit with, but I already had those questions in my head about should I do this or not. So when I stepped up, a lot of nerves. I don't compete real well, and I've talked about this before. I've got a lot of issues about competition. I can come out here almost blindfold and shoot around 1,000 rated easily, but as soon as I get into competition, things go like this. But so I stepped up, and it was the first hole, and the thing is, there's added pressure because everybody goes, oh, this is Pete's course. Pete lives out here. He should tear it up. Well, that's a lot of pressure. And so I stepped up with all that raging, and I threw my first shot up the hill. It was inside, sawed off. My mistake is to saw it off, and it went left, hit the side of the hill, should have been fine, but because it was a fairway driver and not a mid-range, it got a kick, stood up, rolled across the road, OB. And so I'm short OB starting off the hole. Had to throw around, and I played pretty well the rest of the hole, but I ended up, because of where I was and how tough this hole is, I played for a 5 on this, and I took a 6. And so I was already, that was a double bogey right on the first hole. Woohoo! Now, fortunately, I was able to birdie the next hole to kind of ease some of that pain, but it really kind of shook me right from the beginning. And that's where we need to use that kind of motivation to help us get out and get practicing and get better. So what I want to do and what I'm doing today is I'm sitting here on this hole 1 with my remix bag of torpedoes and creatures, mid-ranges. I've got 10 of each, and I'm just going to work on what's the most consistent throw, the easiest throw, the least stressful throws, and I've convinced that mid-rangers are the key for this hole so you don't get as much rolls and bounces as other things. So I'm just going to get to where I feel comfortable anytime I step up to this hole. Because as I talk to other people, they say this is one of the toughest starting holes in Alabama. And I want to feel more confident because this hole sets the stage. And so here's the thing, regardless if it's the first hole or second hole, as a matter of fact, after I do this, another practice I'm gonna do is throwing on this slope over here. And I've done it before, but you just feel uncomfortable trying to make this shot down the fairway when pressure's on. And I need to just keep coming back here and practicing these 2 shots over and over again until I feel like I can do these in my sleep. Because this is gonna be important for the rest of my play at this course, especially if it's your home course and you can do this. Those holes that kind of keep you up at night thinking about them before you have the tournament, which is exactly what I did. As soon as I hit that hill and the disc rolled OB, I turned around and said, this was my dream, except for in my dream, I'm only in my underwear. You know that feeling? That's kind of how you feel about certain holes. You're worried about what if I screw up? And so I want to take as much of that out as possible. Remember, I talk about practice and prepare to get rid of as much chaos as possible. Well, this is dealing with some of the chaos that happened yesterday that I can now use to motivate me in my heart while I'm feeling it to do something about it so that the next time it comes up, I'm going to feel much more confident and hopefully at peace when I play this hole. Does that make sense? So all I'm doing today is I'm going up and down this hill multiple times throwing these mid-ranges. I'm also deciding whether the Creature or the Torpedo, a little flippy, a -3 flip, or just basically a point and shoot is going to be a better disc for this hole. And we're going to find that out together. Let's go down to the bottom of the hill, throw some shots. You know how many times I've hit that little elbow on that tree? I hate that elbow. So this definitely showed me that I need to be throwing the Creature more than the Torpedo. I was trying to flex it instead of letting the understability of the Creature do the work for me. But see, most of these are Creatures where I was struggling a little bit more with the Torpedo. That's good to know. Well, I just threw half the disc without recording, so yeah, we'll just keep going. Just more of the same. I definitely think the Creature, the understable, is a better setup. Because see, I'm trying to shape the Torpedo instead of letting the Creature move it around. Yeah, even hitting up there is fine because there's enough room for it to dance over to the right. That's a shot. That is not the shot. All right, so that's an easy decision. The Creature is a shot, not the Torpedo. Let me go grab him. Now here's the thing about practice is you need to take advantage of the feeling of, man, I need to work on this as soon as you can, because here's the deal. Practice needs to be more than just one day. You know, we go out and have one good field session, we think, hey, yeah, I've worked on it. We need to do it a couple times, multiple times, to kind of hone it in. In different situations, like today, this is the second day, this is Tuesday, it's windy. But also, here's the thing, is as you get farther away from the pain in a sense, the pain recedes and it becomes less urgent or less motivation to do it. So for instance, you know, I came out here and practiced, and then we had league last night and I shot really well. And it's like, oh yeah, I'm feeling better about my game today than I did yesterday. And so my urge to practice and get better is lessened. So you want to try to grab hold of it, but then also plan to do it for more than just one day. And so I'm out here, this is my lunch break, I'm just coming out here to reinforce what I did yesterday. I'm just throwing the Creatures because I decided that I want that nice little flip around here and bring it over, let the disc do the work. Now here's the thing, I haven't played into a headwind because it doesn't get that windy through here because of the trees, so this will be interesting. But these are the things you need to know because it may be windy on a tournament play. I need to learn, and I need to keep coming out here and practicing this stuff. Don't just do it once. Let the pain motivate you to come out here for the first time, but then get a plan to keep coming out. All right, I just stepped out of the car. I've got, you know, just a short amount of time, so I'm just gonna throw these. It's the same stuff. I'm just gonna get up here and try to work on, I'm trying to get that feel, and I'm just bringing you along with me. There's that elbow. I hit that tree when I'm not engaged. Come over here. All right. There it is. That's exactly what I want. And I want to throw the mid-range because, first of all, it won't bounce as much if you hit stuff, but also you can go long if you get hold of it too much. I'm worried about with a fairway driver, I could go over the end of the road, OB long. So I have less risk of that with the mid-range. Yep, just up there. That's going to be a little more right. Let's try one with a good headwind. Still okay. Right into the tree. Yep. Hey, I'll take that. It stayed in the road. The good news with that turnover disc as well is if I do saw it off, it's going to be fighting back, so it's not going to crash into the hill as much. So hopefully it hits and deflects forward instead of hit and roll back. There it is. There it is. There it is. Hey, I did a thing with the last 4. That's promising. And that's what you gotta do. You gotta start, keep working at it, keep working at it. There you go, guys. That's all I got for today. Jump back and see the end where I get a little philosophical. Thanks for watching. Okay, so this is the philosophical part of things, and this is where I'm gonna talk about the whole idea of pain is good. And I thought it was fitting that I do it up here because I did this once up here for some of my Patreon members. I did a video for them, but I work at a church, and this is up above the sanctuary. And since this is Easter week, I thought it was kind of fitting that I hang out up here. Plus, it's kind of quiet and out of the way. But what I want to talk about is the whole idea of pain being good, because pain is the indicator that something's wrong. And there was a book, I can't remember who wrote it. I think it might have been a guy named Ghost Fiji that talked about the blessing of pain. And he worked with lepers. And what's awesome, or you know, how things work out, I ended up working with a group of lepers at a leper colony in Thailand. And the reason why he wrote pain is a blessing is because what happens in leprosy is the nerve receptors stop transmitting pain to the human. And so the people with leprosy can't feel the pain, they can't feel the infection in their fingers and noses and stuff like that, and they get infected and they end up dying, those parts of their body, and then eventually it can get pretty bad because they can't feel the pain. And while we were working there, I was helping put up barbed wire fence to keep the water buffalo out of the church building and stuff like that. We had to stop the men from bending the nails with their hands on the fence post because they couldn't feel what it was doing to their fingers. They were trying to help, and they were actually damaging their hands because they couldn't feel the pain. And so that's kind of deep to start out with. Some of you are like, I'm out of here. But the whole idea is when you feel pain, that's the time to change some things. Either you go, I'm out of here, or go, let's see how we can work on eliminating some of that pain in the future. And that's why I wanted to talk about how pain is good, to hopefully motivate us to practice and get better, so that the next go around there'll be a little less pain. And it won't be because we've ignored it, but because we've overcome it. And so I felt the pain of hitting and going OB on that first hole. And it really kind of set the stage for the rest of the round. It wasn't a terrible round, but it wasn't a great round. And I want to try to avoid that pain in the future. So my motivation to practice and to get better is at an all-time high right now, especially for that hole, but also to start looking at some things. And so even on that video, I'm seeing how my body control is getting a little bit, I'm flailing a little bit. So I need to work on some body discipline issues when I'm throwing as well. But my motivation is I'm hungry to practice right now. The pain I felt from not making a good shot and not doing as well as I could, as well as I wanted to, is giving me the energy to work on this. And so that's why pain can often be good, because it says, let's not stay here. Let's do something about it. And so that's why I love to practice. That's why I love to tell other people to practice, because I know the pain of I made a dumb mistake just because I wasn't prepared or because I hadn't worked on this shot. And I want you to avoid pain. Listen, face it, we want to avoid as much pain as possible, but when pain comes in, let's try to use that sometimes to get us to the next level of things. I need to work on that shot. I need to work on being confident on that hole. And this pain is giving me the motivation to do it. That's why I'm out there yesterday, and I'm going to be out there again today. I'm going to get to the point where this is one of my favorite holes instead of one of my least favorite holes on the course. And I think that's going to be a big deal for me and how I approach things in the future when I'm playing this course. And so that's where I really want to go with all this. That's why I named this video, Pain is Good. We want to avoid it, but so oftentimes we avoid it by not looking at it or not doing it. But what if we grabbed hold of it and said, I'm going to use this pain to motivate me to get better? And hopefully we're going to get better in disc golf, but also remember, we want to get better as people. We want to be more loving, more. The thing I kept going back to when I was out on the course is I want to be the kind of guy out on the course that even if I'm not playing well, people want to play with me. Not because I'm all this, but because I genuinely care about them. I genuinely love them. And that's kind of the big challenge I want for us this week and hopefully every week. That yes, we're going to practice being better at disc golfers, but we're also going to be practice at being better people for the people around us. Let's use this game and this whole thing of trying to get better to truly become better people and better loving people around the people that are put in our paths, whether it's on our card, in our families, or just the people we meet on the street. So there you go, guys. I hope this week is a great week for you. I hope that it's one that encourages you and maybe gives you a chance to start some things over. I just appreciate you hanging out with me, coming along with me as I goofily come through this life of disc golf and life in general. And I do appreciate you coming with me. This means so much that you would take time out to watch this, and I hope it encourages you. And I do really hope to see you out on the course.